Hi, it's me again with Corel tips and tricks. Somebody sent me this bitmap, and you can tell it's a bitmap by the bounding box. I've already traced it. They want it to go around a oval. They didn't really say what size, so I did it like this. So I'm just going to start from scratch. So this is not too big. It's small enough it'll work. I'm going to go to trace bitmap, outline, trace, clip art. And then I'm going to go, as soon as it pops, I'm going to go remove color from entire image and say OK. Now, we'll do a yellow box trick just to make sure there's no white and we have an outline. And this particular video might take two videos. I don't like my videos being that long. So there's a couple of parts I'm going to remove. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of my yellow box. And I am only going to take the top part. So I'm going to left click, right click, and I got an outline of that. Now I'm going to take I can just use a 2-point curve or a 2-point line. I don't have to have, I'm going to go ahead and use the 3-point curve line. That's what I did on the first one just to make sure it works and give it a little bit of a curve. So I'm going to close that gap and then give it just a little bit of a curve. I didn't do a very good job, but we can always clean it up later. Curve line. See, this is a little bit off, but we'll worry about that later. Now, I would normally take away stuff like this, but we're not even going to use it. So I'm going to take the Smart Fill tool, and I'm going to go right there and fill that in. So I've segregated that part. Now, it would be nice if they picked one that was kind of maybe straight, maybe a little flatter, but we could fix that. I'm going to go ahead and go left click, right click, and I'm going to get the envelope tool, excuse me, and I'm going to bring this, just as long as I don't distort it too much. I'm just trying to bring it where it's kind of like an even flat. So now it's 4.92 inches long. This is a oval, and if we go to, and I've already converted it to a curve, so go, whenever you make the oval, convert it to a curve, then go to Windows, Dockers, and Properties. And right here, this is, hit the squiggly line, and we're at 40.18. We're going to go ahead and make it 40. I'm going to go 93.9. 93.7. I'm just trying to get it close to 40. That's about as close as you're going to get it. So this line is 40 inches long. So we need this to be 40 inches long to make the artistic media tool work. So what I'm going to do, this thing is, let's make it 5 inches long with my ratio lock, so it made it perfect. I'm going to change my nudge factor to 5. I'm going to Control D and make a duplicate and move that over. Now I'm actually going to flip the pedal so it makes it a little bit different. Now we're a little bit off, but I'm going to take this, and while holding down the control button, I'm going to start moving it over till I have the two parts touch. Now I can weld this, but it's so much easier that you're right here and just cut that away. And now you have a continuous flower. So let's go ahead and Smart Fill it. I'm going to have to zoom in. Take the Smart Fill tool and just fill in any part that's like that. Now, if you look, we're at 9.9 because we trimmed a little bit off. Now we had, I can't remember how long this is, 40 inches. So we need 4 of these. So we're going to go, once again, we're going to left click, right click, and I'm going to hit the plus key, and I'm going to nudge it over twice. And now we'll have 20 inches, but we've got to join these together. And I'm actually going to maybe bring it down a little bit, just so they're kind of touching. I'm going to actually change the nudge factor to 0.01, and then I just finally fine tune it because I don't want to distort the flower too much. And I was thinking this would take 2 videos, but I think I'm going to get it all in one. So now we're almost there, and we can change that when we get it. I'm just going to, you know what, I am going to weld this. That'll get rid of that, and I'm going to put the plus on, or my duplicate distance on 20 inches, and hit the plus key. Let me move that out of the way. I'm actually going to bring this down a little bit, and I'm not going to worry about too much. He can take more time. I am going to take my nudge factor back to 0.01 and bump it up a little bit. And then just take the virtual segment or segment delete key and delete these lines. Weld does the same thing, but a lot of times it's just as easy while you're right here. Now, I do need to fill this in with the Smart Fill tool just to make it all one piece. And I just happen to be using blue. It doesn't really matter. So now I can take this and make it, with my ratio locked, I can make it 40 inches. I'm going to go ahead and make it black. And now we're ready to create an artistic media tool brush. So I'm going to go to the artistic media tool, go right here to brush. We've got it selected, and hit this. That's a 3.5 inch floppy disk looking thing to me. And I'm going to call it Flower 5 and hit save. Now, when you're doing that, when you get the artistic media tool, sometimes it's already there and sometimes it's not. It's kind of hard to tell, but I'm going to up this up and look at that. Now it's a little bit not quite as uniformed as I want. It is around the top. Wonder what I could do differently. Let me back up 1 step. Back up 2 steps. Well, maybe I can't back up a artistic media tool. So what I can do, I don't use it very much. Go up to object, break the artistic media tool apart. And that might be one of the problems right there. We could, when we use it, we could, let's make sure we're still at 40 inches. Let's flip this guy and then make a new brush. We're going to go artistic media tool. We've got the brush selected, hit the disk. I'm going to call it Flower 6. Excuse me. It should be selected. It's kind of hard to see it up in the window. And then let's just type in 2. Yeah, I don't know why I'm getting that, because it's not exactly meeting. There we go. It backed up that time. It might have to do to these nodes. I don't have a perfect. Let me redraw a box. So the way I redraw that box is just do that. And I'm going to hit 5 inches. And that rounded that off. Maybe even more. Maybe even, let's go 6. You can't go too much. I'm trying to get rid of all those nodes. Now we'll rotate that 45 degrees. Oh, excuse me. 90 degrees. And see the difference of the roundness. Maybe this will help. But we need to find out how long this is. So I'm going to go to object, convert it to a curve. And as soon as you do that, that comes up. And I got pretty close. Let's make it a 98%. Let's make it 97.5. Let's make it 97.6. Because there's really no way you could change. We're close enough. Now just take your artistic media tool, and it's the last one you've selected. Now you hit it where you see that, but you have to change this number for some reason to make it work. Maybe I didn't hit it. There we go. So So that's a little more rounder. It's hard to make something that was relatively flat turn those sharp corners, because I guarantee you could do this on a circle and make it so go up to object and convert it to a curve and 45. So let's go like 94% of it, 42, 92%. Whoop. Let's go 90%. Wow. I would have never thought it would have been that much. So let's go 87.4. Close enough. Then just take your artistic media tool, and when you click on it, you'll get the nodes, and then just change the size. It's still going to have some flatness because you're working with something that was so long. And once again, see, it's not touching. So let's try this. I don't know why that won't let me back up, but I can select it and go up and break it apart and get my circle back. Let's make it smaller than the length. Let's make it 85%, and then use artistic and see if it doesn't close that gap. And there's a lot of probably ways we could do it. I don't know what that is. And I don't know why Corel makes you change the size. See, the gap's still not closed, but you could close that if you wanted to. But that's a pretty cool design. I always like taking the, kind of embellish it, take the Smart Fill tool, and well, it's already black. Let's just change it to red. And now let's take the interactive fill tool, make sure it works. I mean, nope, too many objects. So maybe it won't work. But that's a pretty cool effect. Artistic, I used the interactive fill tool earlier when I made it. And see, I put my gap at the bottom, but it really kind of stands out. Anyway, I hope that helped him a little bit. Thank you for watching.